I hear Stephen Gerrard apparently is going to be sharing a room with Wayne Rooney. Yeah, I've been palling around with Wayne a lot lately, and I said to Wayne the other day that basically I wanted to see the safari parks in South Africa, but Wayne doesn't like animals. So I said, I want to see them ones with the long necks, what are they called? And he said, that's irrelevant. I said, no, they're the ones with the trunks, mate, Andy. See, I think the townships is a better joke than that, personally. And it's about South Africa. But, have it your way. I'll call that 1-1. Maybe it'll go to penalties. Anyway, after the John Terry affair, of course, there'll be no Wayne Bridge in South Africa, although according to 5 Live's very own Colin Patterson, the whole story of sexual jealousy and intrigue between the two former Chelsea and England teammates is soon to be made into a major movie. It's untitled as yet, but my money is on A Bridge Too Far. How about that? Yeah, we'll edit that one too. I've always wondered what the players get up to in between games. We're going to hear about it in a minute from the panel. But Alan Shearer said this week... in my day, we were always, playing cards in between matches. We'd be reading about ourselves in the newspapers or listening to our Walkmans. But now, I understand they all play these Wii games, don't they? Or as they call them in Newcastle, YI games. People are saying the BBC pundits have lost it a bit, they've gone a bit stale. I don't think they have. And they've added Lee Dixon recently, very successfully. Lee can always be relied upon to add a little wry wit to the proceedings, can't he? Of course, Italy were the last winners, Gary. And 9 months after that win, apparently there was a huge rise in the annual birth rate in Italy. That's how the Italians celebrated winning the World Cup. It's fantastic, isn't it? Because when England won it in '66, there was a power surge where everyone made themselves a cup of tea. And for the World Cup, we also have on the BBC the delights of Mick McCarthy to look forward to as a co-commentator. Now, I seriously love Mick McCarthy, because he always looks and sounds totally surprised by everything, doesn't he, Mick McCarthy? Remember this time last year, he was on the radio saying, it's great to see Wolverhampton Wanderers back in Premier League, They got a great ground, a great set of fans, They got a great young manager as well in... I'm the manager. Am I the manager of Wolverhampton Wanderers? They're back in the Premier League. Oh, I didn't know that. No. Seriously, the only man in football who looks more surprised than Mick McCarthy on a regular basis is Everton manager David Moyes. David Moyes, Moisey, basically looks like a sheep who's just been caught on an electric fence, doesn't he? I'm very happy with all my players today. Every single one of them. They've all played brilliant. Every single one of them. Bar none. And Moyes is going to be on 5 Live as well as a World Cup pundit. You have to say, in fact, the BBC on radio and TV have a great team of experts. And Mark Bright. Mark Bright, seriously, is the only co-commentator who regularly says more than the actual commentators themselves. And to me, he always sounds like a 9-year-old kid who's won a competition to be a commentator for the day. And no one's told him that the day is over. Basically, all you hear with Mark Bright is something like, it's a fantastic effort, it really is. He's tried to get a foot to it, and the ball's just bobbled as he's hit it. It's gone past the post, and that's exactly what happened, as you've just seen it. And now you can see it again. There, see how it bobbles? There it bobbles. And I'm still talking. I'm talking really quickly, patronising you about a miss. It wasn't even a goal. It's a bobble. And there I go again. I'm still talking like a 9-year-old, because I can't quite believe I've got this job. No, Mark, nor can we. But... But I'm sure at some point we'll hear Mark Bright talking to Colin Murray, of course, who's going to be doing a late-night highlight show on BBC Two. Yes, I'm Colin Murray, or as I'm known in the trade, Alan Green without the attitude. Yes, folks, if you ever want to do an impression of Alan Green, just start with Colin Murray and get exasperated more and more by absolutely everything that happens. And before you know it, you've turned into Alan Green, and you have to say, that is absolutely dire. But when you start to calm down again, you turn back into Colin Murray, of course. But you got to make sure you don't get too cuddly with it, folks, otherwise you'll end up slipping into Eamon Holmes now, and no one wants to slip into Eamon, do they? Thank you. And we heard about it in the trail from Stuart, but 5 Live will also have a regular comedy show with Alan Davis and my mate Ian Stone. That's right, me and Stoney. I'm going to be doing a comedy show, me and Stoney. 2 Arsenal fans, yep. So it'll make a change for us to be supporting a team with any English players in it. And they're hoping to have lots of other comics on there too, although not David Mitchell, sadly. No, I'm sorry I can't be there, but apart from Apart from hating football more than most women, I'll actually be far too busy doing absolutely everything else on the media as usual. But the big question remains, of course, can we win the World Cup? Well, we'll need to stop the unsettling speculation about Fabio's likely future for a start. But, of course, if he does go, the man in place already to succeed him, everyone's saying, is Roy Hodgson.
Yeah, that's right, you know, and I'd like to, if I do get the job, I'd like to continue the traditions, you know, that the traditions that Fabio has put in place, you know, traditions like the England manager looking like an old woman from the former Soviet Republic. I think it's a good, great idea.
And if we are going to win it, I'm sure Peter Shilton would agree, we've got to settle on a goalkeeper. It hasn't been a clear choice, the number one, since David Seaman retired. What's that? Who said that? What? Oh, 2 minutes. Was that 2 minutes? No, I thought somebody was saying the name of a goalkeeper. But it hasn't been a clear choice since David Seaman retired. Of course, he was tempted out of retirement last year. You probably know this, David Seaman. He was tempted out of retirement. He said recently in an interview, that's right, you know, where Real Madrid coming for me, like, you know, and... I thought about it long and hard, like, you know, because they're a big club, aren't they? Got a great history and great tradition and all that sort of carry-on, you know, and... But then I thought about it. I thought, hang on a minute, they're sponsored, aren't they, by Siemens mobile phones? I thought, if I play for Real Madrid, I'm going to have Siemens on the front and on the back of my jersey. I mean, I'd have been literally covered as... Anyway, he didn't go. But if we do win, they'll be rejoicing throughout the land. Every man, Jacobus, Stuart Hall will be through the roof. Everybody will be rejoicing, except for one man. One man. 5 Live's very own Peter Allen. Peter Allen doesn't do rejoicing. Peter Allen on Drive meets triumph and disaster just the same. His only response to anything, Peter Allen, is this. That's it. If we do win on July the 11th, you can guarantee on Drive on July the 12th, Peter Allen will say to England victorious, first time in 44 years, beating Brazil 4-1 in the final last night. Wayne Rooney heading the goal-scoring charts, 2 last night, taking him to a record-breaking 11 goals and the Golden Boot. Oh, but still... You've got to say it'd be better than what they'll do on Radio 4, because Radio 4 don't really get football, do they? You know, if James Naughtie and John Humphreys are reporting the day after England's win, it'll be like hearing 2 posh girls talking about football, won't it? And England has finally won the Soccer World Cup. Liverpool's Gerrard Steven kicked the winning kick from the penalty circle in spare time. The manager of England's team, who's actually Italian. Now, that doesn't seem quite right, does it, Jim? Anyway, Fabio Capello said he was very happy. Thank you very much.